Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Business from Scratch. I'm your host, Abby McGee. Today, I'm sitting down with Kelly Hillegass, a personal and commercial stylist based here in Wilmington who has built a legitimate multi-service business in an industry that most people either dismiss as a luxury or assume you can't actually make money in. Kelly has 16 years of experience. She's worked in New York fashion PR. She's been featured in Southern Living. She styled the cover of Best of Wilmington and has had features in Wilma Magazine and Focus on the Coast. And she has figured out how to turn a genuine passion for clothing and people into a real business. So let's get into it. You're listening to Business from Scratch, the podcast for people building businesses they love without losing themselves along the way. I'm your host, Abby McGee. Let's get started. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey, how are you, Abby?
Good. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I feel like I know you but don't know you, so I'm excited to have the chance to chat through all the things. We had communicated a little bit, I guess it was a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to hire you, and then it just didn't work out at that. I was trying to hire you to come go through my closet.
Yes. Well, it's something we can still do.
I need it.
At that time, I was like heading into a pause that I wasn't expecting because I was just very, very, very sick with my second pregnancy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, maybe it's time now.
Yeah.
So, but for those of you who don't know Kelly and know what she does, she gets your closets right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you also do styling for marketing campaigns, for magazine shoots, things like that, which is very cool. So we were talking a minute ago, you've worked a lot with Matthew, who's my business partner at the bar, a good friend of mine. I love the Wilmington community and how close it is, especially in the creative category. It's such a small world, and I love that.
Working with Matt is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of good at what he does.
Super good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
Yeah, for sure. So you started your current business trajectory like back when social media first started becoming a thing, right? When it was kind of nobody knew what to do with it. It was a lot of puppy and kid pictures, and you were trying to find your way then. So can you take me back to how this all started for you and like what was the trigger for you to get into the fashion styling, both personal and, corporate?
Yeah. So I grew up in Wilmington. I have always loved style, but, it's a lot different, or it was a lot different than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Really small town. Everyone kind of dressed the same. And anytime I wore something fun that I saw in a magazine, or I did a lot of like fashion research back then, and still do, I kind of felt, nervous about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then Instagram came out and, you got to see everyone from all over the world and you got to see things so much faster. And so styling was super fun. I was working at a surf shop when Instagram kind of came out, and then we started using it for styling new incoming product and how to get that out the door and using it as a selling tool. Mm-hmm. And I did merchandising there. Then I also did a lot of like fashion shows and local like fashion charity events. And I worked with a couple photographers, and I would just like run clothes or go grab clothes from them. Oliver was always there in the beginning, and they were willing to lend clothes. Like Kelly's the best. Worked with Jess James a lot and learned a lot from a lot of people. And then I realized I wanted to go to New York because I didn't really see where I could take fashion here at the time. So then I interned for a PR fashion agency and loved that, and did a lot of schlepping around the city, running to Vogue and picking up stuff. And it was really fun, and I learned a lot. And then I was ready to come back because I'm more of a small town girl and I'm a surfer, and so I miss the beach. So at the same time, I had a company reach out, and they did women's wholesaling. And so it was actually based here in Wilmington. It was a huge women's wholesaler. And I was hired with them just kind of for merchandising in the beginning. And they didn't have a stylist. They were doing some e-com shoots, but they were ready for like an upgrade on it. So then I was like, okay, why don't we, I implemented some changes, and then it became where 5 days a week I was hiring models. We'd be in the studio about 5 hours a day shooting all the products. So I learned a lot there. Originally, we had just like regular, products sizes like 2-4, like a regular kind of model size. And then we expanded. And so we were doing children's and we were doing just like all kinds of sizing. And so I really learned how to like hone in my styling on different body types there. That was really fun. Loved that. And I was definitely styling for the company. Like, I mean, my style was not, it, teaches your styling for exactly what the brand wants to portray. So that was really fun. I did a lot of like lookbook styling then and would come up with, so we printed beautiful lookbooks, like a catalog that you would get. And like, it was so fun to go and make a story that went along with the new collection. Then I got into production with them. So I went to China with them, and it would be from like, I would start with the trend forecasting to creating products, and then when they came in to shoot them. So it was a small company, and we really got to all put our hands in every aspect, which was fun. So did that for about 5 years. COVID came right when I was 3 months postpartum. I was going to go back to work for them, but had already kind of started a side styling business. And when COVID hit, they sold to another company. And so they dissolved their office here. So what was going to be my styling business, no one was really going anywhere. So I was like, okay, I guess this is a sign to put everything on hold for a minute. I actually had like a side blimp kind of job where I've always loved thrifting and vintage. And it's really big now. But at the time then, it was kind of not for everyone. But I started doing just like online selling of vintage that I had accumulated over the years, and I had a lot. And then I started doing little pop-up shops on the weekends. Then I quickly realized
here in Wilmington.
And I quickly realized I did not want to be like setting up pop-up shops on the weekends, and putting in for a full store was just like not something that made sense for me at the time. I had just had a baby. Around the time I kind of started realizing that, people started calling again for styling, and more people started calling. And then that just kind of became my full-time thing. And I've figured it out as I've gone. I see a lot of stylists now, like especially on TikTok and Instagram, there's people telling you how to do things, and there's courses. But when I was first starting out, everyone was very tight-lipped about it and quiet, and no one shared, the business aspect of it with you. So,
right. Well, and that's such a different, like, I'm not on TikTok. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't bring myself to do. Instagram is enough, but
no, it's a lot.
I feel like there's everybody's an expert. Everybody's telling you what to do. But what I love about what you do is like, I hope that we're swinging back towards like being in a room with somebody and having a conversation and figuring out how can I benefit from what you're doing. In a real way. So I would not do well with a TikTok stylist telling me, because I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then I go to the store and I'm like, this isn't working. Yeah. So I think what you do is super interesting and exciting. I definitely, I need your help. I was standing in my room this morning knowing I was interviewing you and being like, oh God, what do I wear?
And you nailed it. Yeah.
It's not my thing. I told you, I'm like in gym shorts and a tank top most days. But, I think it's so important, and something that I miss a lot, that I don't get right a lot is especially if I'm going to a meeting, I'm maybe on a panel or even here being filmed. It's like, I don't know what to do. Do you think people get it wrong a lot?
I don't know. I mean, I think style is personal. I never want to push anything on anyone. I want to help you discover your personal style and what makes you feel good. I think there's a lot of rules out there that really it shouldn't be so rigid. When I meet with a client, I want to help them feel their best for their current lifestyle. I think people feel like they have to emulate things that they see or follow a certain trend or stick to a certain color. And it really should be about like, who do you want to show up in the world as, and how do you want to feel? Because, some people may feel the style is silly, but really it's how we show the world who we are every day before we even say anything. So I do think it's important, but I think it should be fun, and it's definitely a muscle. So for everyone, you know, you can grow your personal style muscle, and I always hope that clients learn from me and then can do things on their own. But also a lot of my clients are super busy and they just want me to take that pressure off of them. So
So walk me through your process. I think if I remember correctly, your first step is you actually show up at the house and you go through the closet and you do a kind of an audit, a closet audit.
Yeah.
How is that? Is that usually very eye-opening and surprising for people when you help them go through their closet and you're helping them see things in a different way?
Yeah. I think a lot of times, especially a lot of my clients are usually postpartum or they've been really busy working and then it hits them like, I want to feel good. I want to like what I'm wearing, and they don't look at their closet. They don't really know the items in there. And that's what I really try to help people understand is the more time we spend in there and the more time we spend with these pieces, we get to know what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And a lot of times people need my help starting that process and then kind of staying on the path. But, you know, usually when I meet with a client, I offer all kinds of services. So it can be like getting, you know, dressed for a vacation or for a wedding event or just anything in particular. But a lot of what I see is like, yes, let's start with the edit and then we kind of go from there. And a lot of my clients, we start with the edit and then they just reach out when they have something going on. Like, hey, I'm running, you know, I've got this trip going, or, you know, it's a change of a season. Can you come in? And a lot of my clients will do, you know, 4 times a year just to kind of fresh before a season. But going in, yes, a lot of times I do send people prep work. So I want you to kind of go in and pick out items that are kind of your go-tos, items that are in there but you never wear, which are a lot of people's closets. A lot of my clients have items hanging with the tags on them, which I think that happens. And a lot of items are, well, I bought this, it was a good deal, this was on sale, but then they've never worn it. So it can be items that you want to figure out how to wear. So we kind of separate those. So they do a little bit of pre-work. Some people do, you don't have to. And then just in closets, a lot of times there's so much in there that people can't even see what they have and what's working. So we kind of clean that out. And then we try to use what you have. So I see the pieces that are in there that are kind of go-tos, and we kind of understand, why are these your go-tos? What are they doing for you? What do they make you feel? And then we'll kind of fill in holes from there. And so then I usually offer a shopping in person or a digital style file, I call it. So it shows you options for items that we want to get and items that we talked about would help your wardrobe and the lifestyle that you're living. And then I show you how to style those. And then a lot of times when people order those, then I come back over and we style those outfits, and I can do flat lays on the ground and I take pictures and you keep those pictures, or I create like Pinterest boards with those items, or I take you actually in the item styled. And when I'm working with a client, I always try to show them how we can roll a sleeve and things that we can do to, if something feels a little bit off, like how to fix it. So that hopefully I'm teaching you these skills that you can take when you're getting dressed by yourself.
So what's your ideal client or your typical client? Is it somebody who lets you kind of take the reins and do most of the work, or are you doing more closet edits and then you kind of step away?
Well, I'm not sure if I am answering this correctly, but my ideal client, or the client that I normally have, is usually a woman between 30s to 60s who's been working really hard and like taking care of children, and then kind of just put themselves on the back burner. And then I think woke up one day and was like, oh, I don't feel good doing this. And getting dressed does bring joy, and it really changes how you feel that day. I mean, you got dressed today, and I'm sure, how do you feel in the outfit that you're wearing?
I don't think about it.
Well, I think,
That's not true. I think about it too much. I obsess over it, but I
put on something today that I wanted to feel confident and elegant and calm. And so I kind of went with these pieces, but I mean, other times I dress really bright, like surfery beach. And I think you dress for kind of the occasion and how you want to present yourself. And I think a lot of times women have put themselves on the back burner. So a lot of times that's my client. We go in and we see pieces that have just been in there for forever. And a lot of times it's just kind of finding silhouettes that fit their body, because as women, our body changes a lot.
That is true.
You know, so postpartum, perimenopause, menopause, like all those things change our body, and finding items that fit well and are comfortable and, you know, look great on our body. I think sometimes people want to hold on to pieces that they used to love a lot of times. And so, yeah, I want them to be able to get the knowledge from me and then be able to help make selections themselves. And a lot of times clients are texting me all the time, like pictures in the mirror. Does this work? What do I need? Or I'm out shopping. So yeah, I like to keep clients, you know, that coming back, but they can kind of do it on themselves too.
Yeah, I think getting an understanding of what works for you is the biggest hurdle, because I hate to shop.
Yeah.
And I'm usually on the couch on my computer just ordering stuff that I don't know if it's going to work or not. Yeah. And then it gets to my house and I might like it okay, but I don't love it, but it's what I have. And I also like learning how to put things together and feel good about it and style it, accessorize it. I just don't. That's where I feel like your service would really change somebody's life if they just could learn the basics of how to dress their body and what feels good and what feels comfortable. Because inevitably, if I'm actually getting dressed and not just throwing on, you know, gym clothes, then I'm changing 4 times, and then I leave and my room has got clothes all over the floor because now I'm late. So, you know, knowing what to buy and how to wear it.
Well, I really want clients to shop purposefully. That's my goal. I don't want you to have to buy a ton of new items. I actually think less is better. I think a lot of us have too much in our closets, and you know, there's no reason to we don't have to clean out and get rid of everything. If there are special pieces and you're not wearing them right now, or even a season you're not wearing, it's helpful to kind of put it away. I think having a well-edited closet that, you know, maybe invest in some bag holders or like a beautiful spot for your jeans or a really nice shoe rack, because you want to go into your closet and feel like you're shopping a store. I mean, you want to be excited to go in there and not like look at everything piled in like, oh God, what am I going to wear today? And I think working with me is great because we can, a lot of times I like pre-prep outfits for people. So even in my own closet, I have my closet, but then I have a rack to the side where I'm like, I might pull out like an old vintage shirt I haven't worn in a while, and I want to say like, okay, Kelly, like I want to style this for this week. Like I need to find a new way to style this. And it keeps it fun and refreshing, and it keeps you using what you actually have. I think learning how to use items, you know, people probably already have some really great items in their closet. And I think a lot of times people think, oh, I'm going to buy this one extra piece, or I'm just waiting for the perfect piece and then I'm going to have great style, or I need to copy and paste someone who's selling this on Instagram. Whereas I do think it's helpful to find, you know, if you're on Instagram or TikTok, to find people that have your same body shape, because they really have done the work a lot of times. They may find the perfect, you know, silk pant for your height. Like for me, I'm petite, and I like to follow people who are my height because they probably have done the work and they can give me the link. But I think being able to like get in there and create outfits and figure out what works for you and kind of have like a go-to uniform. I like every one of my clients to kind of help. I like to help them figure out what is their go-to uniform. So when you are running out the door, whether it's, you know, a tank top, a blazer, and a great pair of jeans, like that, you know what works for you and what works for your lifestyle. And then we can also style other outfits to have on hand. But yeah.
I imagine, because I know how I shop, because I hate to shop and I'm impatient. And I usually am like, I have to have something tomorrow. And so I go in, sometimes I'll go to the mall and I go into a store and I literally have 5 minutes and I have to have something for tomorrow. And I just go through and like first thing, and then I get home and I've spent a gajillion dollars and I don't love it. Yeah. And I know that somebody like me could probably save money in the long run if you invest in some education.
Yes,
and
definitely.
know how to shop for yourself, so you aren't panic buying, and you're adding things to your closet wisely, things that you'll actually wear. 3/4 of my closet, and I don't have a giant closet, but 3/4 of my small closet I don't wear because it's stuff I bought out of panic. Yeah, and then it doesn't work.
I think a lot of people do that. I mean, hey, I do that. I mean, I don't really do that much anymore because I'm in this every day reminding myself. But everything that I talk about, I practice daily, and I know that it's just like a muscle that grows. And I just try to be really purposeful about the way that I shop and the way that I dress, and even down to the fabrics I'm buying. Because, you know, panic buying and panic shopping like that, a lot of times, we're definitely probably not looking at the fabric. And fabric is super important for the way that it feels and the way that it washes and the way it feels on your body. Also, you know, good quality fabrics are great for heat like this. Like everything now today has a lot of polyester in it. And, you know, that just never feels great when it's this hot outside. But a lot of clients are like, I bought this and, you know, it was on sale, but it's hanging in their closet with a tag on it. I think sitting down and talking through with me or yourself about what's working for you, what is your lifestyle, what are easy go-to items. And I think capsule was really big for a while, but you know, having a certain, you know, here are the 10 items to buy doesn't work for everyone. Everyone should have a different capsule. What works in their lifestyle, what works for their body style, and what feels good to them and what they want to portray. But I think finding those core pieces for yourself and investing in them, and that doesn't necessarily mean like investing a ton of money. It could be like making sure that it is the right fit. Like if you have to order 10 white tank tops, sure, some are from Old Navy and some could be higher end, but like you'll find the right one for you. And then, you know, having that piece that's a go-to in there. And so I think a lot of people just don't take the time to sit down and see, oh, what am I missing? And I think the more you're in your closet with me or by yourself, creating looks and practicing and seeing how, you know, how can I layer certain things to create more looks? I think you'll see, oh man, every time I like want to wear this, I'm missing a nude shoe. I need a ballet flat, and kind of keep it in your notes list, like what you're missing. Then you can shop purposefully and kind of decide, like there's a running list of pieces that I'm like, okay, this is something I want to invest in. And then when I feel like shopping, or maybe I'm out shopping with people, I know what I'm looking for, not just like buying something random. And I think a lot of people do buy that one-off piece, and a lot of times it's a lot of printed pieces. So a lot of closets I go into are fully printed or a fully special piece, and then they could be missing the basics that help make that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or shoes. Everyone seems to be missing shoes. And shoes kind of update often. I mean, there's so many good classics you can invest in, but a lot of times I can go into wardrobes and they're like, something feels off. And everything can kind of look great, but they haven't bought new shoes in years. And I think sometimes just like updating a couple of things here or there are important. But I also think you don't always have to buy stuff. It's really take a piece that's in your closet and see if you can wear it 3 different ways, create 3 different outfits with it, because then you start building that muscle and you'll see your closet in a whole new way.
Do you, so your customer base right now, is it mostly, women who are working, women who just don't have, I know in my business, a lot of who we serve are families who both of the parents are working, everybody's busy, nobody has time to do anything, nobody has time to cook for themselves, shop, anything. So is that your typical client? And I would assume it's mostly women. Do you style men too?
I have had some men. I resonate with women styling more. So I generally, I'm pretty selective about the clients I take right now. So generally it is that woman who is just busy and she usually has to, run around with her kids, but she's also probably showing up for, she might be talking on stage. So just different things like that. So yeah, kind of prepping outfits for them. But it also can be women, like I said before, I've had a couple women who are retired now and they're like, oh, I really want to focus. I was super corporate, but now I just moved to the beach, and like, how am I supposed to?
Yeah, what do I do?
Yeah, what do I do with my wardrobe? And everyone's not dressing, as dressy here. I have a couple clients that might have moved from a bigger city, and they kind of like, what's going on here with it? Everyone's so casual. So it's a fun way to kind of help people understand, okay, let's, pull from what you normally wear, and then, how to put it into what you want to wear here. And it's definitely more of a casual atmosphere here for sure.
Yeah. Well, and I know when you are dressed well and you feel good, you perform better.
Yeah, you do.
You communicate better, you get more done, you feel more confident. I know I do. And on days that I leave the house and I'm like, ugh,
I know.
You feel gross. And then you talk that way.
Yeah,
like
and you're bummed.
Right. The rest of the day. I mean, I can see it in the way I perform
Yeah.
in my workday if
100%.
I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. So I think having those items kind of prepped for you. I mean, I like to have like a section of my closet where if I got a new piece, then I'm going to try and style it a bunch of new ways and I'll hang that. And then when I have time, like I always tell clients, if you have, 30 minutes you were going to put on into a show and you want to do this yourself, put on a podcast that you like and play around, pull up Pinterest and try to create some new outfits that you like. And then you can have more styled outfits. Take a picture of it, maybe lay it out flat laid on the ground, or I'll just hang it in a certain section of clients' closets, and then it's there to grab. And a lot of times too, you can just switch the shoe or switch the accessory if you're taking it from work tonight, or if you want to wear it again. So I think we should just have fun with it, because you're right, it does change your mood. I mean, when I don't have things prepped or I'm kind of feeling in a style rut and then I've got to run out to lunch with someone or a meeting, it changes your mood immediately. And you're like, oh, I just don't feel.
And it adds stress. Like you're rushing and you leave your house, you leave your room a mess, and that's me.
Yeah.
So on the business side of what you do, you had mentioned to me that you kind of took a step back and now you're getting more back into it. Are you having to market yourself differently now that you're getting back into it? Again, like I know our business is 90% word of mouth is how I get new clients. And I assume that yours is similar.
Yeah. Right now, I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I'm at home with my kids. I have a 2.5-year-old and a 6.5-year-old, and I just really enjoy being with them. And I know it goes really fast, and I love working. And I definitely toggle between, oh man, there's so much I want to do with the business. What am I doing? Like maybe I need more childcare, but then also I know this time is fleeting. So right now everything's word of mouth. It kind of always has been. And I had done a little bit of marketing, nothing big, maybe like an ad in a magazine early on to get my name out there. And I had done a free work for magazines when they have stuff coming up, local magazines. But right now at this point, I'm kind of taking a step back because I'm spending time with my children, and I have clients coming in just from word of mouth, or maybe they found me on Google with a quick Google search. But I'm pretty selective about the clients I take because I want to make it worth their while. It's a luxury service, and I want to make sure that they are a fit for me and I'm a fit for them, and they're going to enjoy what they get out of it. So I'm, right now not marketing a ton, but
it's great that you don't have to.
I will be one day, there's a lot of goals that I have and things that I want to do. And sometimes I'm like, oh man, why am I not doing that right now? But I know it comes, in good time. And I love, where I'm at right now, because I feel like I'm learning a lot and kind of seeing exactly how I want to scale it.
Yeah. Well, and the time that your kids are little and home with you it goes by so fast. So being able to have a business that you can do alongside of that and still be very present with them is amazing. And it's a business that you can, when it's time, when your kids don't need you as much. My kids barely need me at all anymore. I have all this time. So all I do is work. It's a business that you could pretty quickly scale and get back into.
I hope so.
Yeah. And referrals, I think, are such a good way to get new clients, because they come to you pretty much qualified as a good fit. Yeah. Because they already know what you do. They have a friend who uses you, and they see what it is, and they can put a value on it before they even come to you.
Yeah.
As opposed to somebody just seeing an ad and calling you, and they think it's a $50 service, and you have to go through that whole process.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by The Starling, your neighborhood bar in the Cargo District here in Wilmington, North Carolina. You know that feeling when you walk into a place and the bartender looks up and just nods? Not a "can I help you" nod, "hey, you're here" nod. That's The Starling. We're not a scene, we're not a concept. We're a really good bar where the drinks are right, the people are interesting, and nobody's going to make you feel weird for just wanting to sit somewhere comfortable and decompress for a minute. Come as you are, stay as long as you want. We'll keep the rocking chairs warm. You can find us on Instagram at The Starling Bar, and we'll see you there. How many clients do you have right now? Regular ones.
Well, I have about 4 clients that I see at each season. And then they also have like events that pop up. And then I have like one-off clients. I'll get like a new one every 2 months. And so like it might just be like one thing. But then, a year from now, everything was great and they just don't need me. And then a year from now, they might call me and be like, oh, I need this, or just a lot of times it kind of goes back and forth. Someone I worked with like 3 years ago might call this fall and say, oh, I'm ready for an update now. You got me this far. And then I have so many clients that I work with once and then they continue to text me and they're, take it and roll with it. And so many of them send me like full outfits that they've like styled and take pictures of and put into like a notebook app on their phone. And they're like, this is what I'm wearing this week. And so a lot of times I teach people the tools and then they might not need me, further, but it really depends on I think the client. I mean, I have clients that are really busy and I think it's some of the same kind of clientele that you would have. So they just need me to do the work and provide them the outfits and do kind of the shopping. But then I have a lot of clients that are like, this is a big investment for me. And then I work with them and then, they don't really have to need, I've given them tools that they can do it on themselves. And that's great. I mean, it doesn't bring back a ton of return business, but they're happy and they continue to text me like, look what I'm wearing today.
So do you have different like packages that you offer? So if somebody's a one-off, like a big initial investment, and then you're giving them the tools, like that's one thing. But then do you offer something that is a continued service? So like here's the package, here's the price if you're going to use me on a regular basis. Yeah.
Well, business and structuring packages has definitely been something I'm learning. And like I said before, no one was really open about this kind of service. Like early on when I started, I mean, there's celebrity stylists, but that is a whole nother thing. I'm styling a person for their everyday life and their lifestyle. And I think there wasn't a lot of people talking about how to structure that kind of business and how to make the packages. And now today there's more of that. And there's a lot of people I look up to who, live all over the U.S. and I've, taken coaching calls with them and kind of talked it through and see how people work stuff. Also pricing. I know in Matt's interview, you talked about pricing and it's so true for Wilmington. I mean, it's you kind of have to see what the market can, hold here, and it's all over the place. Someone might say, oh, that's crazy. And then someone else, it kind of makes sense too. So I've been learning my way through that. And, but I do offer, so I usually get people to start with the edit package if I know that it's going to be a bigger service. I can tell that they are looking for like new stuff. They want to get rid of, So I usually get people to start with that first closet edit package. But I also offer, shoppable style guides and virtual things that those are a price point. And that's kind of in my style menu. But then also my clients that are, around all the time and they keep coming back, that's just kind of an hourly service. And I'm starting a new thing next month. I'm going to Charleston and I have 2 clients I'm going to meet there. And that's just like hourly shopping because, we don't have a ton of shopping here. And a lot of things I do send online. But, with online shopping, there's a lot of back and forth. Trying on and sending it back in. And a lot of people aren't great about their returns. So Charleston is great because it's close. All the shopping is really on one street.
So are you taking clients from here to Charleston?
So we'll meet there. Okay. So these are clients who kind of travel a lot, and Charleston for me is just like a great place because they carry so many great brands, especially great basic brands, and a lot of the brands that my clients like to invest in anyways. So this will be new for me. So we'll see. But I'm going, and then I offered a couple of different time shopping slots. So then I'll go from store to store.
Do you go like do like pre-shop? So you kind of scope it out and know where you're taking them, what you want to show them.
Yeah. I mean, in my head right now, I like both of these clients are clients that I know very well, and I know what their style is and I know what their end goal style is. So I know what stores are going to, what they really have. And generally every day, pretty much I know what a lot of the brands that we use, like what are their new items in, because I'm, I'm not looking at the news in the morning. I'm looking at who, what, where, or like what this store just dropped. And so I know how those pieces fit and like what's going to work for certain people. So I already know like where I'm planning on going, and I might pop in and like pull some stuff and look around. And generally I know a lot of people at different stores. So it's okay to kind of pull some pieces. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
That's so exciting. What a dream to be able to
fun.
to
It is
do
fun.
that. Yeah.
And it's fun to see people light up, especially women because, and I mean men too, but men too. Like everyone puts, you get in life and you're busy and your head's down, you've got kids and you're working or whatever you're doing, you're taking care of aging parents. I mean, all the things that happen, we put ourselves on the back burner. So to take some time with someone and see them light up and, feel good and be confident in something is nice.
It's such a mindset thing because, we spend money on a lot of things, right?
Yes.
We spend money on our nails and our hair and our food and our car, all the things that we are using every day, right? And we justify certain categories. But then you have this one big piece, the thing you put on your body and live in every day, every day, every night, every time you're in front of somebody, at work, in a meeting, at a football game, whatever. And it's hard. I think it's such a weird thing to not look at it like you would. Like I go spend a few $100 every 6 weeks on my hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks great.
Right. So, but I do that because I can't do it myself.
Yeah.
And if my haircut or my grays are showing, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it, and so it affects how I show up.
Yeah.
So I think if you can look at it that way, I mean, I in our business, like the private chef service that we offer, sometimes people freak out about how much that costs. I'm like, okay, well, how much do you pay your house cleaner every week? Yeah. Okay. We don't even charge that much, and we are taking off hours and hours and hours off your plate. Yeah. It's just how you think about what you're spending, and how you can look at something as a worthy investment.
Right.
And what you put on your body is such a huge part of your life.
100%. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think that it's a self-care kind of thing. It's just, a lot of times people don't want to invest into therapy or, maybe some kind of like a business course or a growth course. But that is, the work in what you purchase there will continue to serve you for your life. So I think all my clients would come back saying that, they can dress themselves better and they understand their closet better and they shop with more purpose, which is my main goal because I think a lot of times people are just buying so unconsciously, especially in today's click buy, and I 100%. Want you to have pieces in your closet that you understand how to wear them and how to style them multiple ways and how they make you feel. And, I want you to be able to get dressed and feel great and confident and, comfortable.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you get to do that. And
it is fun.
Yeah. Get to do something that you're good at, that you enjoy, and that really is helpful for people. So I love it.
It's what I spend most of my time thinking about and doing. So I might as well, be helping people. I think a lot of times I'll have, imposter syndrome. But then I'm like, wait, I've done this for so many years and it's really all I think about. So I do have a lot of tools to offer people and even just like little styling tricks that, may come natural to me or even, generations younger than me. But I think a lot of people that I work with, they haven't seen that before and it can just make so much ease in getting dressed. So just little tips and tricks.
I love it. I love it. What's the first thing you notice when you meet somebody? Do you, because I know like when I go to a restaurant, especially if it's a new restaurant, I am walking in the door like somebody who owns a hospitality business. And as much as I try not to, like I'm looking in the kitchen and I'm seeing how the servers are moving and talking. And do you do that when you meet somebody?
That's funny. My dad worked in restaurants and we can't go anywhere without him commenting on how clean something is. And I'm like, can you please just stop? Like,
and even if I'm watching a movie or a TV show and they're showing a kitchen environment and I completely tear it apart.
Yeah. I mean, I think that when you're doing something you love, it just consumes you. So I do notice that, but I also am really compassionate. Like I think you got to meet people where they are and most people are just doing the best they can and they haven't thought about it. Or, I see someone wearing, it's not my style, but I'm like, man, that's great. That is so their style. And they're bringing so much like fun or spunk. Yeah. I love to see that. Or I mean, I see inspiration everywhere.
Do you feel like you notice patterns, right? So if you are thinking about how when you go into a room and you're seeing all these people for the first time and you don't know them and you're noticing whatever, do you feel like there's one thing that you could point out that if everybody tweaked this one thing, it would elevate their style?
Well, it's hard to say here because everyone is so casual, and especially right now, it is like 106 index today or something. It's like people are just trying to get by.
Yes.
So everyone's just like wearing what they can. But I think a lot of times people get stuck on a size, and it's not important what the size of in the tag is not important. You know, like how it actually fits you is important. I also think we live in a very casual town, so you can dress casual, but kind of putting more thought process into it and fun getting dressed and kind of layering in a way. I kind of see. I don't know.
I think the sizing would probably be the number one thing that people just don't know. Yeah. How to choose. Yeah. Because you get started. I mean, I do. And I know. Yeah. I know the number doesn't matter, but then it does.
I have a lot of clients who I think they can fit into that one size. So they're going to wear that size. But really, no one knows the size, you know, but maybe a size up might actually, not that it doesn't, you know, that size fits you, but a size up might lay on your body better. And like really, I've had to learn that, like even just going up a size in a lot of things, things are usually cut pretty small. That it lays on your body and you're more comfortable. I mean, I hate putting on an outfit and then you want to change the minute you want to get home. Like I want to put stuff on that's comfortable.
You're
that I want to wear.
Opening the door and taking things off as you're walking.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. No, every day. That's not fun.
Every day.
So,
what's one thing that a woman should have in their closet?
Ooh.
No exceptions.
Well, I think everyone, you know, can have different style essentials. You know, I would never say like a plain white button up because I used to say that in the beginning. And then I quickly realized that does not work for everyone and everyone doesn't like that kind of style on their body. But I think a white t-shirt, I mean,
a good one.
Everyone. Yeah. And honestly, it does not matter on the price. Like you will find the right one for you. I mean, a lot of people like there's Walmart, Madewell, Hanes, like it could go all the way up. I mean, you can get a very expensive white t-shirt, but there's some really good basics. And there's so many ways to style it. It's also just kind of like a mindless hack when you're getting, I mean, jeans and a good white t-shirt works for everyone.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good one. And what's your top 3 places in Wilmington to shop?
Well, Oliver is definitely probably number one. You know, we don't have a ton of shopping here, so it's not like we have a Nordstrom, which would be great, and that would be great to take clients to. But I also just going to Ann Taylor and Ann Taylor Loft. I mean, I think there's so many great pieces, and I think for a lot of my clients, they're looking for items that they can wear to work, but then they can also leave and wear to dinner, or they can also wear on the weekend. So it offers a lot of versatile pieces, and that is a note. Just randomly thinking that a lot of my clients have run into this issue, and I had never thought about this before, where they're like, this is my work stuff, this is my weekend stuff. And I try to get clients to not look at items like that. You can style something so many ways. So a blazer that you're wearing to work can also be like a date night. There's so many ways to kind of add a little bit more romance to something or play it down a little bit and make it more casual. So I think just trying to look at your closet more open like that can also open you up to more stores too.
That's
because
true.
If you think everything I wear is like pretty corporate, then I have to stick to this kind of store. You can, you know, play around. Trying to think of a third. That's bad. I do a lot of online shopping.
Yes, which I think most people do.
Yeah.
And it is pretty slim pickings in this town. But
I mean, local, yeah. I'm trying to shop more local. I actually have a client who's pushed me. They're like, I just this year just want to shop local. And so we've even been into Hallelujah at the beach. You know, I grew up on Hallelujah, and then it has changed hands. But I noticed that in the change of hands, they've brought in a lot more age-appropriate items, so a mix of age stuff. So I like them as well. Good basics at Madewell. I mean, I almost forgot Madewell's here, which is great.
Which is relatively new here. I haven't even been.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. For basics. Okay. Well, it's getting better. So, okay. So everybody go to Ann Taylor, Madewell, and Oliver.
Or just call me and
we'll call
shop,
Kelly.
You know, for you.
Where can people find you?
Well, I usually get message through Instagram or people reach out. You know, there's an inbox thing on my website, which people reach out to through Google. I'm pretty much on Instagram a lot, so people message me there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and your Instagram handle is
at Kelly Hillegass Styling.
Okay,
yeah,
wonderful.
So then I have my personal, which I put more outfits up on that. I really want to get better at being on my Instagram, but I've that's a whole nother business. It seems it's so much work.
It is so much work. I just handed off social management of Salt and Charm to somebody a couple weeks ago. I've done it myself for 6-7 years. And I finally was like, you lose track of like how to even do it because it changes every day.
Well, that's so true. And I've listened to a couple of your podcasts and have people on like that. And definitely if my next business expense would be that, because as much as I actually love Instagram and do it for myself, and I do a lot of UGC, like user created content for other brands on my personal, on my styling, there's so much I want to do. But, when I have the time for work, it's usually with clients. And so that gets put on the back burner. And I know that there are people who can do it better than me. So I would love to work with someone on that eventually. And
it's a game changer. It frees up so much time and mental load to be able to just hand it off. What you get in return
is great too, because
it's worth it.
I mean, I know I see your stuff a lot, and I know that there are other people in town, designers and stuff that work with teams that I like, and I'm like, I love their stuff, and I see it, and I'm like, man, I really can know that person because they know how to present them and get the right shots, and it's great for business. But it's just like having the time to do it.
Having the time and and justifying but again, it's like justifying the investment. But when you know that it will bring you a return, but it's a big decision to do for sure. It's not, it's not an inexpensive thing to do, but in the long run, it like protects your peace. It makes room in your schedule to do other things, to push the business forward. So you're not trying to figure out how Instagram has changed today from yesterday, because
it's changing all the time.
Constant.
Yeah. Those are my next hope is, getting to a point where I'm hiring someone for that, and then just hiring in an assistant would be nice too. So,
Well, I'm so excited to see what you do. And thanks. I will most likely call you and have you come.
We'll just get in there and see what you're working with.
Closet.
You know what I mean?
So scary.
No, it is. Yeah,
it is scary. Well, and also like you mentioned, like
we'll make it a fun place.
Perimenopause, and I mean that's where I am, and like everything everything's different. Everything feels different, looks different, and you're like, I'm not. I in your brain, you're still 23, and you think you can wear stuff, but you cannot wear that.
I think it's just we don't take the time, so it's just like taking the time, making the investment, and then you reap so many benefits from just taking that time and focusing on your wardrobe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. This was so fun.
Yeah, I will listen back, and I will be calling you for sure. Thanks for joining me on Business from Scratch. Follow the show for more honest conversations about building a business that works for you.